Hello my crypto friends, this video is about how to properly store your crypto wallet's private keys or seed phrases without the need of buying hardware wallets. Simply said, without the need of spending money. Who teaches you something like this nowadays? Almost every influencer out there wants you to buy hardware wallets and use their discount codes, or they get paid by all these hardware wallets companies to tell you how great their product is. I don't say hardware wallets don't have their uses. What I'm saying is that they are over-marketed. And we all know by now about some big companies in this space and their exploits, some of them even being responsible for loss of funds. Well, I'm no influencer and I'll show you how to easily store any information on your Windows computer, even if you use the computer daily, using free available tools. And as the title states, I'm talking about hot wallets, wallets that you use for daily transactions, trading, mining, NFTs, etc. Yes, it's possible. Because if we talk about cold wallets, in my opinion, those should not be kept on any hardware, but written down or carved into a metal plate or whatever other method you might think of to store a wallet for years or even decades. If you like this type of content, give me some love and let's begin. On your Windows machine, download VirtualBox for Windows. Additionally, download the Ubuntu image. In my example, I have an Intel or AMD 64 machine. Keep it simple and download the Ubuntu version for your exact architecture. I wanna mention fast while I install VirtualBox that everything I show in this video can be easily done on different operative systems like Linux or Mac. I chose Windows because it's what people usually use for daily use, like myself. I disabled all host computer networking to remove all the direct networking communication between the host and the guest systems. The best practice would be to use a separate USB Wi-Fi dongle only for the virtual machine. In my case, I didn't have one at the time of recording this video, so the guest uses the same Wi-Fi hardware as the host in this case. Creating a new virtual machine. Add a good password. This is one of the layers of protection for your data. At the end of this setup video guide, I'm showing how to create very strong passwords that can be easily remembered but very hard to crack. The video has timestamps to easily navigate it. As we can see, this virtual machine uses the same hardware as the host, which is my laptop's integrated Wi-Fi chip. A better practice that I realized after I recorded this video is to turn off the host's access to internet until you finish setting it up. Now, I can't do anything about it, but you can. Once inside the Ubuntu virtual machine, open a terminal and update and upgrade the system. Do you enjoy this content so far? How about liking it? Or even disliking it? Just hit some buttons down there, fam. The next step is to install KeePassXC on the guest machine. KeePassXC is a free, open source and offline first password manager. It stores your sensitive information like usernames, passwords, nodes, crypto keys in a single heavily encrypted vault on your local device. Because it operates locally, no data is stored on remote servers or cloud databases. Exactly what we need. A better practice, which I'm recording at a later date, is to disable the guest's network after KeePassXC was installed. Let's open KeePassXC and set it up. As I mentioned earlier, at the end of this video I'm sharing how to create very strong passwords that can be easily remembered. The video has timestamps for y'all to navigate it effortlessly. KeePassXC has more security features. I'll keep it simple for the sake of this video. I saved my passwords.kdbx file in the documents directory for simplicity. A better way would be to choose a different directory that is more hidden, such as a system one like root or apt or data, etc., and naming it differently than my poor choice. Keep away from words like passwords, keys, secrets, and so on. Once the file is saved, I close Ubuntu to disable its network, its internet. Powering it up again to set up KeePassXC. And this is the moment when I come to my senses and I disable the host's internet. I'm gonna create a new entry in the KeePassXC program as an example to store some data on it. I won't go through the program itself, this video is becoming too long as is. Short version, we can add new entries or by advanced create new encrypted files or even add encrypted files to store them, adding another layer of security such as ODB files or open document database files used by OpenOffice or LibreOffice, which will be stored inside KeePassXC. Additionally, we can edit the virtual machine's settings and encrypt its data. And now I hear you asking, yo bro, how the fun we gonna remember all these passwords, man? Do you use the same password for all or what? And I'll say no, I don't use the same password for all the encrypted steps. I use different passwords for each encrypted layer, passwords that are stored in my head and that are easy to remember. And now I see most of you leaving and unsubscribing, but for the ones who are still curious, I'll share the method that I'm using. But first, as this video is full of mistakes and bypassed steps, I want to show you a list of steps to properly follow to use my free method of encryption. Download and install VirtualBox. Download the Ubuntu image or whatever system you want to use as a guest one. Disconnect the host from the internet, not physically. Even if you use a LAN cable, don't unplug it. You need internet for the following steps for the guest system. Create and run the guest system. Make sure to add a strong password for the user. Make sure it will have internet by the network option. Once finished, update and upgrade the guest system necessary for security reasons. Install KeePassXC. Power off the guest system, as the next two steps need the virtual machine not running. Edit the guest system's settings, remove its network. Encrypt the virtual machine's data in its settings using a strong password. Power on the guest system. Open KeePassXC and create an encrypted database. From here, add your entries in the KeePassXC database and close the virtual machine. Open it only if it's necessary and keep your computer offline when you do so. We now have 3 layers of security using strong passwords. Is this system uncrackable? No, no system is uncrackable. Our goal is to make it so hard to be cracked that a bad actor wouldn't even bother trying it. Okay, now let's talk about passwords. How do we start? Well, we create passwords that have meaning for ourselves. I'd recommend sentences or even phrases that have a very deep meaning and can never be forgotten. For example, let's think of something simple. I miss my school days. It's a decent sentence, something that can be easily remembered by someone that misses their school days. But how do we transform it in a strong password? We add symbols and special characters instead of normal letters. The sentence becoming I keep the only capital letter in this case. On my own choice, you do whatever fits you best. So I miss my school days will be a very good password if we would add underlines instead of spaces, as in like this, I miss my school days. It would make the password easier to read for someone pitching your desktop. So if a longer password is needed, instead of artificially increasing the length using names, dates, underlines, etc., we add more words with meaning for us in our heads, like in my case here, the sentence, I miss my school days every day, written like this, right? Which increases the complexity of the original thought password to galactic scales. What about adding more words? In this case, I miss my school days every day of my life. With this help, I asked ChatGPT to give us the exact numbers for the fastest brute force attack possible. For ChatGPT, only the length matters, but for us humans that can use eyesight, a harder to read password can keep us out of trouble. But I agree with the length. The longer the password, the harder to be cracked. ChatGPT states that hackers use dictionary words, leaked passwords, common substitutions, names, birthdays, song lyrics, keyboard patterns, but for actual sentences or phrases, there aren't any such lists. There is too much complexity to this method. Adding that we use at least 3 such passwords, we make it virtually uncrackable. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 if we use encrypted ODB files. There is no such thing as an unbreakable security measure. The point of all this is to make it so difficult and complex that no one would bother to try crack it. And the beauty of it, the genius behind it, which even ChatGPT appreciates, is that it's about something simple that we can always remember with ease. Besides unfortunate events that might leave one with amnesia or memory loss. But this discussion is out of this video's purpose. Can my presented system be improved? Of course, I would even like to see your ideas, criticism, experience in the comments down below. I'll answer all of them. All this said, thank you for watching. C-Man, the man out.